Good morning, American. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here on the morning of Friday, April 2nd, 2021. TGIF and Good Friday. Yeah. Well, I wanted to do an article on Good Friday today, but I'll skip that till later in the day. I'll do it as the rest of the story. But the article I want to do today, and I want to show it to you here, it's by a local columnist named Kevin Foley, and it says MLB should step up to the plate and move the All-Star game from Cobb County, Georgia, from Truist Park here. And he is griping about the Georgia law that they passed for voting. A lot of people are saying, boycott this and boycott that. This is the African American way for some reason. I don't understand why. There's nothing wrong with the law. Oh, it violates minorities. If you don't have ID, then you shouldn't vote. Period. And if you don't want to stand in line without having anybody bringing you water, you shouldn't vote. I come from a country where you didn't have these stupid rights that you got here, okay? That are killing your society, really. Especially the voting right. Vote is a privilege, not a right. And where I come from, before you do anything else, you need an ID, period. In my home country of Panama, you have a national ID called a cedula, okay? And you can't do anything. You can also have a driver's license, but that's not an ID. They don't look for that. You can't use that as an ID. A cedula is an ID that tells you where you are. It's got a number on it. And the first number is your province. The second number is your district. And the third number is where you live at. Mine, and I haven't renewed it because I'm a resident alien of the United States, but mine was 8-212-2699, and it told the government everything you needed to know about me. They can look up 8-212-2699, especially in their computers now. It's faster than their computers were then. And they can tell you everything you need to know about that, even my DNA. Something you don't have here in the USA. When I voted, and I only voted once in my country, and it was for the Panama Canal. Do you want it? Yes or no? And I voted no, because I didn't think Panama could hold on to it. And I didn't want China to come in here, which they did for a little while. Okay? The Canadians run it now. But be that as it may, when you voted over there, and it was a privilege to vote, and if you didn't vote, they didn't have you on the rolls, they would come in and say, hello, you didn't vote. We don't care how you voted, but why didn't you vote? And if you say, I don't care, you got fined. Yeah, big fine too, $100, and that was big money back then. And you African Americans and you activists over here that are fighting this law, Governor Kemp has all the right, and the law is very constitutional here because you need a license. You actually need a national ID license. I don't know why the United States doesn't have one. They need a national ID with numbers. Say like Georgia's number 7. Yeah, so that would be the 7th state, and Hawaii would be the big 5-0. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, Americans. Especially you guys here in Atlanta, Georgia. The All-Star game and Major League Baseball have nothing to do with this stupid law. Neither does Coca-Cola or any other company. This law is made for a reason, and it's not to impair the minorities. Because if we would have wanted to do that in Panama, we could have done that easier. Just have police officers there and say, oh, you're the riffraff. We don't want you here. And they used to do that in the 1940s and 50s. They had police officers there with batons. Okay? And that's the way they used to do it. When I went to vote in the 1970s, and it was still a military republic under Omar Torrijos, I went there with no repercussions to me whatsoever. It wasn't until Noriega took over in the 1980s that, yeah, I got repercussions for being anti-Noriega. But this, here in America, especially here in Atlanta, Georgia, I don't get it. If you have a chance, look at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and look at this article. It's on page A3 of the Marietta Daily Journal is what I'm looking at. Marietta Daily Journal, Friday, April 2nd, 2021, page A3. And it's by local columnist Kevin Foley. And it says, Major League Baseball should step up to the plate, move the All-Star game from Truist Park. And it's a very, how would you say, unflattering article. Racist, if I could say so, on the whites. That is a very black racist, and he's a white guy. And if you read this article, it's completely racist the other way. This is not the way to write an article, Mr. Foley. And the Democrats are just seeking votes. They don't care if whoever they sent to vote knows what the hell they're voting for, as long as they vote what they want you to vote for. That is not voting to me. That is actually stuffing the ballot box. And you have to be careful with your ID. So that's what I'm saying. You need an ID because we need to know who is voting. No dead people allowed. If you're a riffraff, you still have the privilege to vote. If you're an African American, you got the privilege to vote. But you don't have the privilege to go in there to stuff the ballot box for whatever faction is trying to push you to vote. And this is what I don't understand. What do you think Americans and other people from the other side, Canadians, Europeans, look at this article. A Marietta Daily Journal, Friday, April 2nd, 2021, page A3, under Mr. Kevin Foley there. Anyway, this is your favorite alien and Bubba saying, what the heck is going on in our country? Good day.